Hello everybody and welcome back to Oh Dear David! It is now episode 2. Sorry, my eyes are watering. It's not the emotion of filming episode 2, it's the emotion of the fizz from the carbonation of the Lucozade that's just gone down my gullet. I feel like I needed a bit of a Lucozade this morning, hunch, you know what I mean? Anyways, so like I said, I am back with Oh Dear David and I am back with episode number 2. And I'm actually so excited for this episode because this is actually one of the reasons why I wanted to start Oh Dear David. So I have put requests out on my Instagram all week. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, I just felt like the abyss of my body was coming up then. So like I said, I've been putting requests out all week on Instagram because I have wanted to be like an agony aunt / gunkle guru, which is like gay uncle guru. See what I did there? Not funny. So yeah, hopefully, like with my last video, I will not need to edit this. I kind of like to just keep it kind of off the cuff. What comes out, and what you hear is what I've just said. So, yes, like I said, I want to do some agony aunt things. I get a lot of messages asking me, I'm just gonna kick back, you know? I'm just gonna, no. Yes. Get comfortable. Shut up, David. I'm already telling myself to shut up and we're only 2 minutes in. So, yes, like I said, I want to do some agony aunt / gunkle guru kind of things. I get loads of messages asking me advice on things. So I have put out the feelers this week. This week for people to be able to email in to Oh Dear David. If you want to email in for the next time, the email address is ohdeardavidx@gmail.com. So I have my iPad here, and on my iPad, I have the login for the Oh Dear David email, and I have received some emails. I haven't read through them. So the first time that I read them is going to be to you guys. These are all also going to be anonymous. I don't want to start saying people's names. Because private and confidential, that's what I was looking for. Confidentiality is key with Oh Dear David. I want you to feel like this is a safe space. I want you to feel comfy. So, without further ado, do we just dive into it? Get your armbands on, get your lilos, because we're jumping in. Should have some like really good music there, like dun dun dun. There's no point adding a sound effect, is there? Because I've just done it myself. Right. The iPad of Oh Dear David. Okay, so what we're just going to do is we'll do like 3 or 4, maybe 4. And we'll just do kind of like the ones that come in first. So, the first one we have. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? Let me hear you scream. Maybe I just need to get rid of this YouTube channel already. Let's call it a day. Okay. Oh, so this one is named Hygiene Issue. Dear David, I work in a small office where there isn't a lot of room for fresh air. The co-worker who sits opposite me has horrendous hygiene. Horrendous! And he makes me feel Sorry. He makes me feel physically sick on a daily basis. We don't have a staff room, so we sit at our we don't have a staff room, so we sit at our desks and eat, and it puts me off my food. How do I tell him? Help me, please, X. Okay, X. First of all, I would say that something most definitely needs to be done about this, because if you can't even enjoy your butties at your desk on your dinner without heaving to the point where you're going to throw up, then something's got to change. Now, I know there's obviously, there's different reasons for hygiene. Bog standard hygiene, i.e. a brush of the teeth twice a day, at least a shower a day, isn't that much to ask for. No one's expecting you to do a full skincare routine. But if you don't shower daily and brush your teeth twice a day, then there is something that you could potentially need help with. Like I said, people suffer with, obviously I don't know the person, never met them. I don't know, it could be a mental health thing, it could just be a lazy thing, it could be they don't enjoy it. There's numerous things, but I just feel like obviously when you work in such a small environment, like a little office, we're going to need to do something about that, because we can't have you, like I said, not being able to eat your butties because you're gipping. I would, if you're not the manager, I would speak to the manager, definitely. Make it aware. Make it a known to whoever's higher than yourself. Because really, it's not something you should have to deal with. I did work in an office years ago. I don't ever remember somebody having such a whiff that it made me feel physically sick. But I have got a sensitive nose. So I can kind of relate to where you're coming from here. Because if I can smell people when they've got a cavity. Telling you. I know when people need a filling. I've just got the nose for it. My nose is quite large, so yeah, I've got the nose for it. Like I said, I think you should speak to your manager. She or he or they is something that they would have to deal with, because I feel like, I don't want to say it's in the code of conduct, because I feel like the code of conduct at every office is just completely different. But yeah, maybe it's something they need to deal with. Or, I mean, depends how long they've been your co-worker for. You could just say it nicer, like, say the code Ashley, you stink. No, I'm joking. There is a way to say things. There is a way to say things that aren't offensive. There's a way to say things where you can get your point across, but without being rude or mean or judgmental. I feel like with something like hygiene, if a lot of people that I know anyway, class hygiene is quite a high thing. I know I do. I personally do. Some people don't. But the majority of people do think that hygiene is something that needs to be maintained, as we say. So, yeah, I think speak to your manager, or if you are the manager, just speak to them nicely and just say, listen, hon, your hygiene's poor. I can't even eat my Monster Munch. No. David, I don't know why I'm making jokes. Sorry, I shouldn't be making jokes, because this is a serious thing. So I can only apologise for that. I'm just being daft. I've had a sip of Lucozade and I'm like, wow, I feel good. Mm-hmm. But no, speak to your manager. If you are the manager, speak to him, because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm sure there's a code of conduct or something in there to say that the hygiene needs to be up to spec. And just make sure if you are speaking to them yourselves, don't come from a judgmental place. A lot of the time, people just need someone to speak to, and they might just need somebody to speak to. And if you're saying to them, is everything okay? Yeah, they might be like, yeah, why, what's the matter? Like, yeah, I'm fine. Or they might not be, and they might open up to you. But always come from not a judgmental place, because as soon as you start being judgmental, it can come across as rude, especially in the workplace, which you don't want. And it can also come across as you being mean. You don't want to be a mean girl. So I would say that, and I hope that he's smelling a right guard in no time, or Lynx Africa, or whatever. But yeah, that is number one, hygiene. Let me delete that. Okay. The reference to this is explore sexual desire. Oh dear, David. I've been married to my wife for 13 years and it is good and healthy. Our connection is brain fart. Our connection is impeccable and we have 2 beautiful children. There is nothing I would change about my relationship, but I have specific needs that I want fulfilling sexually. How do I speak to my wife about this without offending her? Best wishes, ... Okay, well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate you. I mean, 13 years in a marriage is stunning, because I can't even do 13 days. So, you might be speaking to the wrong person here. Can't even get a text back, honey. But we move, and you're here, and I'm willing to offer my amazing, beautiful, gorgeous advice. So you've been married for 13 years. Therefore, there's already an amazing foundation built there. Like, you guys are clearly inseparable. I mean, 13 years is a very, very long time to be with someone. You've got 2 amazing children. I feel like you're saying there's nothing you would change about the relationship. Now, obviously, that must mean that you're kind of good at communicating. Now, is this a case that you kind of feel embarrassed about what the sexual desires are? Or is it a case that you think that your wife will not want to participate in those sexual desires? I mean, I don't know what they are. I mean, you're into what you're into. Do you know what I mean? Like, Rihanna, S&M, and I may be bad, but I'm perfectly good at it. Sex in the air, I don't care, I like the smell of it. I don't, personally, I think it stinks. But, do you know what I mean? You get where I'm coming from. Chains and whips excite me and all that lot. However, like I said, I don't know what your sexual desires are. That's the issue. Well, it's not an issue, but I just feel like communicating is a massive thing. I mean, like I said, you've been together 13 years, so you don't need me to sit here and say, communicate with your wife, because you clearly have done, because you've been together 13 years. But I just feel like also, when you've been with somebody for that long, they're not going to judge you. Or if they do judge you, it's kind of like in a jokey way. Like I said, I don't know the relationship, but I just feel like it doesn't come from a malicious place when you're with somebody for that long. If they are having a laugh and a joke with you, I feel like you should be able to sit down and say, listen, I want you to strap up and shove it. No. I mean, if that's what you're into, ... then we're all for it. But just tell her. Absolutely tell her. You need to be honest, because I'm not saying you're going to cheat on her, but obviously, like, I wouldn't like to go to a place where you feel like you need to look elsewhere for these sexual desires. And I think sit her down. If you have a drink together, maybe pop open a bottle of wine. just to calm your nerves a little bit, if that's what you're into. And just say and tell it. Communication is key. Honesty is key. And like I said, you've been together with somebody for 13 years, sorry. They're going to listen. And they might be taken back at first, but it's all about compromise. Do you know what I mean? Relationships are all about compromise. And I just feel like you've got an amazing foundation there. I wouldn't worry. I feel like a lot of people are a lot more accepting of things than you expect them to be. Like, for example, when I come out as gay, I didn't think anybody would be accepting of it. I was very like, nobody's going to accept me. But everybody did with open arms, and I'm very lucky for that. But what I'm saying is people are a lot more accepting than you expect them to be. Give it a go. Give it a go. You've got this. I believe in you. Right, well, this one's very short and sweet. The reference is help me. He's stuck down a grid. Blink twice if you need help. It says, Dear David, I think my boyfriend is cheating on me. What do I do? Lots of love, A. I'd just like to say a massive thank you to this one. I feel like you've really gone out of your way to give me lots of in-depth information to be able to give you some advice, which is great. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. No, I'm joking. I don't want you to feel like you can't write in again, but you can. Bit more info what I'm gonna miss though. So you think your boyfriend's cheating on you? Lots of love, A. So obviously I don't know if this is heterosexual, really. Heterosexual relationship. I don't know if it's a homosexual relationship. I don't know what kind of relationship this is. I don't know if the person's wrote in is a male, female, non-binary, anything that you want to be. So we're just going to go with Janeza here. Janeza is generic. So we're just going to go with some Janeza advice. I mean, you've not given me any much detail anyway, so it's got to be quite... Sorry about that, Huns. Sorry about that. Say my storage again. I'm sick of this storage, Malaki. I pay for extra storage. Anyway, like I said, Janeza advice. I mean, I don't know how long you've been together. I've not got much info here. But I feel like, again, communication, massive thing in a relationship. I feel like if you are genuinely believing that your partner is cheating on you, then... That was really rude and slightly disrespectful. I can only apologise. But yeah, here we are. I feel like there needs to be a level of respect and communication in a relationship. I feel like if you're unable to discuss this with your partner, then I'm not saying hire a private detective. But if you feel... The thing is, you should be able to feel like you can speak to your partner. Again, like I said, I don't know the background on the relationship. But say, for example, you've only been together not that long, then that's a massive red flag if you already feel like they're cheating on you. I mean, cheating is a red flag whether you've been together for a week or 10 years. But I feel like if you're already having those trust issues, then that is a massive red flag. And I feel like that is something that you need to look into anyway. But, yeah, trust issues... I've got them. A lot of people have got them. A bit of paranoia when you're with somebody. It's normal. It's absolutely normal. And that kind of comes from a place where you've been hurt in the past, which is absolutely fine. But like I said, communication with your partner. I'm not going to turn around to you and say, literally look at him square in the face and go, why are you cheating on me? But basically say it. I feel like being upfront and honest is also the best policy. See what you can do with that, eh? I mean... Again, I'm sorry, I just don't really know much about the relationship to be able to give like a bit more info, but I would just say communication is key. If you need me to test your partner, then just slide me a message on Instagram and I can slide into their DMs and see if they want to get married. probably they will want to do that. So I obviously don't know where that'll put. David, shut up. Someone's getting cheated on. So, yes, that is what I'm going to say on that one. Either have a... I don't want to say start looking on his phone and all that, because it's actually really unhealthy, all that. Like, that is really, like, unhealthy stuff to do. I mean, I can't say I've never done it, and I can't say I wouldn't do it again. But it's so unhealthy. No, I wouldn't do it again. No, no. It's unhealthy. It really is. The next relationship I want to get into is one where I feel secure, healthy, and I just don't want any of that toxic shit in my life. Communicate. Tell them that you're feeling insecure, or tell them that you've seen these signs. If there's signs that you feel like they've been cheated, or you've got proof, then you need to speak to them and you need to act upon however you want to act. If you feel like you can forgive them, then that's obviously down to you. I think scumbag of the earth, throw him into the bin. But who am I? I'm just, oh dear, David. But anyway, yeah. Sorry, that one is a bit generic because I don't really know. Oh, goodness me. Right, this is a long one. This is a very long one, and it's starting off. The reference to it is Sneaky Links. I love the opening. Are you ready for this? Hello, my beautiful sun-kissed goddess. So, here we go. Joe, my best friend who I'm moving in with. Thomas, my friend who I always go on nights out with and spend a lot of time with. Me and Joe are very, very close and tell each other absolutely everything. We always go away together when we're not working. We always go together, and when we're not working, we're together. Joe and Thomas were messaging on Instagram. Joe is unaware that I'm also friends with Thomas. Thomas knew full well Thomas knew full well who Joe was and had his eye on him for a while. Anyway, they went on a date and it went well. Me and Thomas had plans to go out on a night out like we usually do, and we never ever cancel on each other. Okay. I find out through a friend that Joe had invited Thomas round the same night we were meant to be going out. To my disappointment, Thomas cancelled on me while I was getting ready, in capitals, to go out. Joe told me all the tea, but Thomas was hiding it from me and just said he was tired. Obs, Thomas jumped at the chance and went to Joe's for a shag instead of sticking to our plans. Anyway, Thomas again was meant to come out last night, but decided to ghost me the whole night. Obviously, he was effing my best friend. Me and Joe have a lot going on at the moment, so we need to be there for each other. We have had an event in Brighton to go out that I'd usually stay with him and help him out. I have just found out that Joe has invited Thomas instead of me. They've only known each other for 4 days. What do? I can't really be mad at Joe because he didn't realise we were friends. But then again, he shouldn't have invited Thomas to the event to replace me. I feel like such a spare part and I don't know what to do. Please help me, David. Ha 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 ha. Hope you enjoyed that read. I've had to switch up the names in case they watch the video. Love you always. Let's all just have a second to breathe. Before I go any further, I am telling you now that this is the last one. Because it's probably going to take me a good half an hour to get my head around it. Guzzle a Luke. Luke is here, bit of a belly wash to get me prepared. So without looking back, we have... We have a lady we have a lady who has a best friend called Jo, who she's moving in with. We have Thomas, who I presume is more of like a social going out friend. Jo and Thomas are basically messaging each other. Right, I think what we need to do here is address the situation first. Obviously, Jo is your best friend, who you're moving in with. You clearly have a really good connection. You're very, very good friends. Thomas seems a bit more of like a social friend to me. Like one where you say you just go on nights out together. Who I always go on nights with and spend, you still spend a lot of time together. Right, okay. Because I know what you mean. Like I have friends that, there's just a lot going on here. I need to put my feet up for this, I'll be honest. Just get back and relax. I just need to... Right, they've only known each other for 4 days. I mean... Sneaky links. Them two pair of sneaky links. The thing is, Jo is your really good friend, is your best friend, and you're moving in together. Therefore, you're going to be spending a lot of time together. The thing is, I think here, it's not too crazy. I can understand what you're saying. I would also feel the same way. But if these two are going to kind of make something from it, you're moving in with Jo. Okay, so you're moving in with Jo. Thomas and Jo are speaking. If Thomas and Jo go well, I can guarantee that Thomas will be coming round to yours and Jo's place where you're moving in together. I just don't understand. Why don't we have a conversation? Let me sit up for this. We need a conversation here. We need a conversation. I feel like you need to sit down with both Jo and Thomas and just, I just find it a bit bizarre that, sorry, I'm trying, there's a million things within this one. How does your best friend not know who you go on loads of nights out with? Like, say for example, if I I just know none of my best friends might not know them personally, but they would know, if I was to say somebody's name, they would know who I'm talking about because they've seen that I go out with them a lot. Do you and Thomas not really post stuff together? I think it's a bit shady. There is shady behind it. The fact that they're cancelling when you're literally getting ready to go and meet them. That is shady boots. And now obviously Jo's invited Thomas. I feel like they're obviously very excited about getting into this new relationship. However, you are kind of caught in the middle right now. But at the same time, you kind of need to be there for your friends. They're both kind of getting into this new relationship. I think you need to make it known that you know about the relationship and that you're friends with both. I think Jo needs to know that you two are friends, because I find it a bit bizarre that your best friend doesn't know that you're friends with somebody else, especially the person that they're seeing. They've only known each other for 4 days, so they're not going to be going in too deep. But obviously, they already want to spend quite a lot of quality time together, which is normal when you are starting speaking to somebody, when you start seeing somebody. You do want to invest a lot of your time into them. You do want to go and do things with them. However, I feel like because you all know each other, it's going to be quite a close-knit circle. Especially if you and Jo are moving in together, and if they do end up in a relationship, Thomas is always going to be there. So you need to make them aware that you all know each other, that you're all friends. Them two might be a bit more than friends by the sounds of it. And I think you should also speak to your friend, because I think it's a bit shady that they have basically... that Listen, I mean, I can't say I've not cancelled on somebody. I can't. I'd be lying. It's not the nicest thing to do, but especially if you're going out, if they're still going out to do something with somebody else, i.e. somebody else, then that is a bit shady. But it's hard when you first start speaking to someone because you do want to spend quite a lot of time with them, especially if you really like them. Do you know what I mean? But like I said, I think a conversation needs to be had. I think you need to tell Joe that you and Thomas go out a lot and that you're good friends. And just be honest and just say, listen, I know that you invited him to Brighton and I know that you cancelled on me to go and meet him. You're in the middle. Do you know what I mean? But you all need to be open. I reckon go straight to a group chat. Either that, go straight to a WhatsApp group, or meet them both. Say you're going to meet them both individually, and then when you sat there, you'll be like, all right, boys, let's get these off our chest, shall we? Yeah, I feel like, I don't want to say that they've not really done anything wrong, because I don't want to disvalue your feelings whatsoever. I feel like it could be worse. But at the same time, I get what you're saying, because I feel like he's invited you to an event. Joe has invited Thomas to an event and he's only known him for 4 days at something that you had already planned with him. Now, that is annoying, because I also am a strong believer in you shouldn't ditch your friends when you start getting with someone. You should spend time with your partner, but your friends aren't ever going anywhere. Like, treat them with respect as well. So I would definitely call him out on that, because I think that's downright disgusting. Disgusting. And it's downright disrespectful, Joseph. And Thomas, they're getting ready for a night out. You're making sure you're going. Yeah, I would, it's communication. I'm a big believer in communication. I love a good communication session. And you should be able to communicate with your friends like you should be able to communicate with your partner. You should be able to tell your friends anything. If you feel like you can't tell your friends something, you need to get some new friends, because they need to listen. But yeah, you need to gather them together. First of all, Joe needs to know that you and Thomas are friends, because I just find it really bizarre, like I said, that he doesn't know. And you're going to be moving in with him. So, yeah, let's let Joe know that you know Thomas. And that you're obviously quite pally with him. You go out and you spend a lot of time with him. I think let's let him know that, because it's just random that he doesn't know who one of your really good friends are when he's your best friend. And I think let's move from there. I feel like maybe we need a part 2 on this one. So I hope this advice helps. But yeah, like I said, I think you need to communicate with both of them. And then when I do my next agony aunt, and I think, can we do this and then post an update? Because I'm going to need an update, and I feel like the people are going to need an update as well. So yeah, that is stunning. So I'm not doing any more work, because that has absolutely taken it out of me. And to be honest, I'm starving. I'm absolutely starving. But I really, like I said, all that advice is very off the cuff. It's not going to edit. I'm not going to edit the video. I like to just say what comes out of my mind. Like I said, hope that advice helps. If you take it on board, you do. If you don't, then I've wasted my breath. And no one likes wasting the breath. Because you don't know how many... No, I'm not even going to get into that. But I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that. Was episode 2 of Oh Dear David. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Oh my God, I'm such a YouTuber. Like, comment and subscribe. And also, don't forget to follow the Instagram page. Follow the TikTok page. At Oh Dear David _. Okay, Hans? Okay? And this is just me saying, what are you, David? Shut up. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm sending lots of love to you, Huns. That was episode 2 of Oh Dear David, my first ever agony aunt / gunkle guru. And I hope you all enjoyed it. And I'm sending lots of love to you. Mwah! Bye, Huns.